What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, let's talk about DEC for a second, and then I'm going to switch gears over to Rebellion. Now, I'll have to dig through my past videos for this, but obviously, I cannot show you further back than 4 months, right? This DEC supply only goes back 120 days. But if we go back to February, March-ish, or around that time, you'll see that we probably minted, if I remember correctly, it was anywhere between like 200 to 300 million DEC with all of the Gladiator card burning that was happening at that time. Now, granted, that's not to say that, all the cards that have been burned since haven't contributed to where we've been at. Obviously, I think we've burned a lot of DEC since then, even with the supply here. But if we're trying to get back to PEG, my guess, and I've been saying this for a while, again, this is just my educated guess based on where we were previously when PEG was there, we were closer down to the 5.3, 5.4, maybe 5.5 billion DEC mark, and there was a healthy ongoing demand for DEC at that time. So how do we translate that appropriately to Rebellion packs? Because at this time, outside of all the other sinks that we have for DEC, which just are not as significant, Rebellion, in my opinion, still represents the biggest one, right? Now, granted, we have not seen much happen in Rebellion sales. I don't anticipate much to happen in Rebellion sales until we get closer to maybe November, December-ish. So it could be a while, right? But in terms of requiring or getting the required amount of DEC to push us back to PEG, and I know that demand is going to come in and play a factor into all that, but in terms of just burning the 200 to 300 million DEC that we would need, think about it this way. For every 100,000 packs that we sell, which is a significant amount because that's more than 10% of what we've even sold right now, right? We're less than 1 million. But for every 100,000 packs that we sell, we would require 400 million DEC, right? 200 million of which gets burned, or sorry, not burned, but effectively goes to the DAO, which hopefully will be burned at some point in the future. And then the other 200 million goes to the team, which gets recycled back into the game economy. So if we were to sell 100,000 packs, in my opinion, that would actually do it, right? Because if we're talking about like 100,000 over the course of 4 months, then yeah, I mean, that demand can be stretched out long enough that sure, we would lock up 200 million DEC in the DAO, which is fantastic, but the other 200 million in demand would probably get recycled back out into the ecosystem. So it wouldn't be a full like 400 million demand. So that's kind of the magic number that I'm holding up there. Can we sell another 100,000 packs? And, I was much more confident, we'll say like a month or two ago, in terms of thinking that we would hit at least 1.5 million packs sold, which would be, over 500,000 from here. But as we go further into what looks to be an extended kind of lull in the marketplace, I still think that we're in a bull run overall. But this is a Bitcoin bull run, right? This is a Bitcoin bull run. Bitcoin is, off of it's 30% off of its all-time high, or not even 30% off of its all-time high. But alts are bleeding, alts are dying. It's a fantastic thing for a Bitcoin maxi. But obviously, in the context of Splinterlands, it sucks, right? Because all alts are just getting smashed, and so Splinterlands has a bunch of tokens that don't mean anything, unfortunately, and that's what's getting killed right now. And until we can give those tokens enough meaning, and this is where the team is focused on, and I think it's a good goal, or we can find enough people that will give meaning to those tokens, it's going to be a rough ride. Now, that being said, I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen in the market. I still think Q4 could be a fun time. But hey, I thought summer was going to be fun. And here we are in July, right? We're already the first week through the July. And I was absolutely wrong. This is not a fun time. It's a great time for me to keep acquiring more Bitcoin, right? But for the rest of the market, we haven't had that pop off the way that I was hoping we'd see something similar to the DeFi summer of 2020. Granted, there's still more than half the summer left to go, right? If you count like mid-July to the end of August. So things could still pick up here and there. Maybe we're just in this lull moment. But I wouldn't be surprised, considering all the uncertainty that's happening in macro. You got the U.S. elections coming up. Considering all the uncertainty, all the craziness, the global conflicts, I wouldn't be surprised if we just chop for a bit, right? Meaning that we chop for a couple more months, which leads to more pain here. So to take this all back, does that mean then that we're going to get that 500,000 sell at the end of Rebellion? And I don't know. I'm starting to have my doubts about that now. If you had to press me for something, and I don't like to make predictions, even though I'm going to kind of put one out here. But if you had to press me for it, I would lean towards not anymore, right? I was much more confident about that a month or two ago. But considering where things are at, considering a lot of the instability here within the Splinterlands ecosystem, right? We don't know how all the rest of the stuff is going to work. We don't know in terms of even the Soulbound unlock, the new Soulbound reward cards that'll be coming in, what kind of impact that's going to have. Maybe that'll supercharge things, right? But if it ends up being a nothing burger, similar to the way many other things have been nothing burgers, and this is not, I'm not trying to make any shots at the team. The team is very much focused on creating a better experience, and they gave themselves a timeline until, we'll say, October, right? Six months from when they mentioned it again in Q2. So in my head, I'm like, as long as they can get everything done by October, that is what they're shooting for. So this is not criticizing them. The entire market is down right now, but to the team's point, they're not focused on the tokenomics side. They're focused on the game side and getting the game in a good place so that when people do come in, they'll be able to retain them in a much better fashion. So, sorry, I keep getting into these tangents. So, getting back to Rebellion, we don't know what all these types of things are going to have in terms of impact on the game economy. The ranked rewards updates, the rewards updates overall, a lot of the different things that have been tweaked here and there just haven't had the impact we were hoping for. Even the wild season permit hasn't done much. And I think that was a fantastic kind of last minute or, a quick turnaround project that the team had. So yes, Soulbound cards could be something. I don't know. At this point, I'm playing it very conservatively. I don't think anything's going to have any kind of impact until the team turns on whatever marketing that they plan to do later this year or early next year. So all that to say, bringing it back, we could probably burn 85 to 90% of the set, which would be kind of crazy because at this point, I don't know who is buying. And considering the fact that there's still 81,000 packs circulating out there, and you can clearly get them for way cheaper on the secondary market, $2.15, there's absolutely no reason for anybody to buy a pack from the store, which, again, hurts the team, hurts the game economy. But that is just how things are designed. I talked about that in a separate video, but that's just how things are designed. And until we start to eat through a lot of this and show that there is demand from the current player base or bring in a new player base before the end of Rebellion, that number, right, that 1.5 million that I was hoping to reach, that Matt was hoping to reach as kind of the lower end of his estimate, I think that is not going to be attainable. Granted, we are still 6 months away from the end, or we'll just say 5.5 months away from the end of Rebellion. There's a lot that could change. Obviously, I'm still optimistic for Bitcoin and the broader crypto market overall once we get into Q4, and that could rapidly and massively change things. But for the foreseeable future, I continue to see a downtrend here. I continue to see us, burning 25,000 packs per day, or you know what I mean, 25,000 packs get, most of it gets burned, some of it gets sent to the DAO. So I can see that continuing to happen for the next couple of months. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully my predictions, hopefully my early predictions turn out to be true. We do have some fun at the end of the summer, or my current predictions of trying to get or having Q4 be a little bit of a catalyst moment for the crypto market overall that would get people to come in and maybe take some of their profits into Rebellion and many of the other tokens here. So that is where I'm seeing Rebellion so far. Again, the magic number is only 100,000 packs, in my opinion, to help us get DEC. Maybe not to peg, but definitely way closer. And I don't, it's interesting, but I don't know that we'll be able to. Well, it would be interesting if the community came together and was just everybody pitch in and buy 100,000 packs, because on the whole, it doesn't seem like a lot, right? I mean, granted, it is, it's like $400,000 worth of value. Actually, it's even less than that if you consider the fact that DEC is below peg. It's less than $300,000 worth of value that the community would have to fork over in order for us to cover that. But, considering how many real players that we have that are willing to spend that kind of money, I just don't see it happening. And, whales have definitely quieted down too. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. Just wanted to share a little bit of analysis on Rebellion and DEC, but it's not insurmountable, right? I think 100,000 packs is actually very easily doable. Where I have my doubts is the 500 to 550,000 that I was hoping for by the end of Rebellion. And I think if I had to pick now between 500 and 100, I think we're going to be much closer to the 100 side of things, even though I think we'll be above the 100 right by the end of it. We'll see how much speculation remains by the end of the Rebellion sale. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.